Sometimes it feels like there's a million different Amazon fees that makes it impossible to make a profit on Amazon. So in this quick guide, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop paying inbound placement fees with your business. Because for the majority of Amazon FBA shipments, Amazon charges a per unit fee for every item that you send into Amazon. You're basically paying for the right to send it into a specific warehouse. But a lot of people aren't even aware that if you create your shipments in a slightly special way, you can pay $0 in inbound placement fees. So let's go ahead and jump in and show you exactly how to do that. Step one is to go to boxem.com. This is going to be the software that makes this process really easy. It's also just the easiest way to make shipments and track how much profit you're making as an Amazon seller in general. The next thing we're going to need to do is go to inventory and then list FBA. If you already have a product listed on Amazon, you can skip this. But before we send shipments without paying placement fees, we obviously have to have those items listed on Amazon. So I'm just going to show you a very quick example of an auto ungated product. We can just go ahead and list it, fill out our buy cost. This is going to make sure our analytics and all that good stuff are correct. We can also go ahead and set a custom SKU, but let's go ahead and add this to our listing, and then we'll go ahead and submit that listing. Once this is done loading, that item is live on your Amazon account and you're ready to create the Amazon shipment. Once your products are listed, go ahead and go to shipments and then create shipment. Now this is where we're going to start the actual shipment creation process and avoid those placement fees, right? So I'm just going to name it testing, for example. Go ahead and fill out your shipment address. Select small parcel unless you're doing an LTL shipment. For box contents, this is really important. Make sure you select Boxem provided. If you don't want to pay inbound placement fees, you do have to use Boxem's custom box content process. Do not select 2D barcodes if you want to pay $0 in placement fees. When you're creating a shipment, I typically turn all of these options on. None of these really matter for our purposes where we're focused on making shipments without placement fees, but these are all nice features that'll help you save some time through the shipment creation process. Now we want to go ahead and search for the product that we've already listed on our Amazon store, being this pack of t-shirts, for example, and I'm going to say we have 100 of them. The key to shipping these products in without paying placement fees is to make sure that the quantity will be evenly divisible among a certain amount of boxes. So just don't use a prime number essentially for your quantity. Let's go ahead and add that to our shipment. And then I'll also go ahead and add a different product to the shipment just so you can see how it works when we have multiple products that we're sending in without paying placement fees. So here you can see we have 100 units of this product and we have 50 units of this product. Now we're good to go ahead and continue on. You can add as many different products as you want. Just again, keep in mind that each product you send needs to be divisible into a certain amount. But again, keep in mind that the amount of products that you send needs to be evenly divisible among boxes, which will become very important on this next step. Let's go ahead and press continue and then submit that to Amazon. Now that's submitted to Amazon, you're going to see this tooltip show up at the top of Boxem. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for our shipment to qualify for optimized placement. So what we need to do is to create 5 or more identical boxes. You can see, I mean, same dimensions, weight, unit count, all that good stuff. And that is going to qualify our shipment to pay 0 placement fees. So what I want to do is go ahead and create 4 more boxes here. That way we're going to have at least 5 boxes. And then I'm going to go ahead and select all these boxes, go ahead and split them across all the boxes here. So now basically what I'm going to need to do is put 10 of each unit into one box and then put 20 of the other product into that same box. Keep in mind, if this is in reality heavier than 50 pounds or you can't fit it all in a box, it says 5 or more boxes. So in reality, 10 of these and 20 of those might not quite fit in a box. We'd have to measure it out, throw it all in there. Just keep in mind, you can add 10 boxes, 100 boxes, as long as they all match, your shipment is still going to be eligible for the optimized placement where you don't pay placement fees. Also remember that during this process, we need to go ahead and print out our FN SKU labels. This is where we'll print out the labels that we cover the original barcode on the product with. That way, when it gets to Amazon and it starts selling, they're going to be able to properly scan and credit us with the sale. But now that we have 5 identical boxes and these are all identical in dimension, weight, and quantity of every item inside, let's go ahead and press continue and then submit that to Amazon. Now that's complete, we can see all of the different shipping options for this shipment, and you can see a 4th shipping option via the optimized placement option has showed up. One thing that I have noticed for a lot of shipments is it tends to need to be a fairly heavy shipment for the optimized placement option to be cheaper than the lowest rate that Boxem will identify. So for my personal Amazon business, I don't typically do optimized shipments unless I'm creating a very big shipment of a very high quantity of a couple different products. And you can see in this case that held true where the shipment options that Boxem has available, we can see is actually cheaper than the optimized placement option, which is pretty cool to see, but that's not always going to be the case. And sometimes you're going to go in here and you're going to see that getting these $0 on placement fees has made the shipment overall much cheaper. One other thing to keep in mind, and this is actually a pro for even paying a little bit more for the optimized option, is that all of these boxes, since they're going to 5 different warehouses instead of just one warehouse, more products as soon as they get to the warehouse are immediately going to be available for sale. Versus if you ship them to one warehouse, they're going to have to spread that inventory across the country for you, which is typically going to mean that those items are going to check in a little bit slower and you might see some slower sales rather than having 5 different warehouses check in all at once. A lot of those products are still going to send to smaller warehouses from there, but there's a very good chance that you're going to have inventory in all 5 of these warehouses as soon as that item hits the warehouse. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and select our optimized placement option. So we'll go ahead and press continue and then confirm a placement option and accept the charges. And then for the last step, we're going to be presented with the shipping labels. All you need to do is go ahead and print these out, put them on the outside of the box. The only rule is that you can't cover the seam of the box where the warehouse worker is going to cut it open. So usually I put these on the side of the box, and then you're good to go ahead and drop these off at UPS or pay UPS to come pick up these products for you. And now you know how to make a full Amazon FBA shipment without paying placement fees. If you want to try this out for yourself, make sure you grab a 2-week free trial of Boxem. That's the best and fastest way to make Amazon shipments. It's also how you'll want to track your profit. And there's a really cool AI assistant within Boxem that can help you source products and answer any question about your Amazon business. So Boxem is going to be a great resource for your Amazon business as you continue to grow. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. Always happy to help. And if you want to see how to source a ton of winning products so you can fill up your Boxem account with profit, go ahead and click this video right here.